There we go.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to Let's Talk CFL podcast, episode number 619. I'm your host, Christopher Jones, coming to you live from Merritt, British Columbia. We got a full panel tonight. Well, actually, we're missing one, but he's coming later on. So there is four of us. We're going to have five. So I'm going to find out how it fits with the squares. It's going to be interesting because we'll have a fifth person. Well, I don't know. We'll have four people and Rick. Speaking of Rick, I will introduce him right now. It's Rick McDonald. He is from Abbotsford, British Columbia currently, and he is a Blue Bomber fan for some dumbass reason. And Rick, welcome to the show, buddy. How you doing?
I am doing well. Happy to be back. It's exciting to be back with all these CFL fans because the season is heating up.
Heating up. Okay. Well, next we'll introduce his brother, William McDonald, from Calgary, Alberta, and he is a Stampeders fan.
Yes.
They were both born in Winnipeg, and Rick moved away and stayed a fan just like those stupid fucking Rider fans.
No, sir.
But Will converted.
Richard was born in New Brunswick, and William was born in Quebec.
Oh, fuck. Okay. Grew up in Winnipeg.
Hey,
let's argue about Nathan Rourke. At least I can find information on him.
Get their facts right, okay?
The debate.
Yeah, my bad. Okay,
so the debate is still live, whether Willie has grown up or not.
Well, that's true too. Okay, shut up, William. Welcome to the show.
Thank you. You know what? I didn't realize till the other day, but it is heating up in the CFL because I looked at the standings, and the standings in the West are pretty darn close, regardless of how crappy teams are.
It's a dogfight.
It is.
Well, I looked at it. If BC actually beat Toronto, it would have been a three-way tie for second until the Calgary-Saskatchewan game. Right. It would have been a three-way tie.
Right.
But BC got smoked by Toronto, and then Calgary beat Winnipeg or Saskatchewan.
So, yeah, it's close. It's close.
Very close.
Like we talked about, any one of those teams could be in first place before the end of the year.
Yeah, and the only one that's really out of the picture is Edmonton.
Sorry, Mike.
Sorry, Mike. It's just a fact.
Yeah, but the problem with that fact is we're only 2 games behind BC. We've won 3 in a row.
Yeah, but they're fucking shitty.
No, we're not. We got Cody Fajardo.
But Mike, they have to play Calgary back to back the next 2 weeks. They're done. Sorry.
Yeah, I know we're done, but we still have Cody Fajardo.
The thing about that is Vernon Adams Jr. has the flu right now.
You know what? I ignore Sparky because his information sucks. So today, Vernon Adams was practicing and he was 100%. And Dave Dickinson said, to quote, he doesn't have it quite like Tevon, what's his face, did, and he will be there. So
okay,
he was at practice today, running around, running the number one.
Right, I'm just trying to piss people off with the odds, okay?
Well, but I'm still thinking, no, they couldn't beat Ottawa without Vernon Adams. So yeah, they probably couldn't beat Edmonton without Vernon Adams either.
Exactly. You never know what could happen there.
Most CFL teams couldn't beat anybody without their starter. Just ask Montreal.
A lot of CFL teams can't beat anybody with their starter.
True that. Just ask Trey Ford. Oh, sorry, Mike.
What are you going to do? Let's say a miracle happens this weekend.
Yes.
And for some unknown reason, Edmonton wins.
Mike, it would not be a miracle because the thing you do not understand about Labor Day is it doesn't matter what the team's record is.
No, it does not.
Those are rivalries that have gone on for years and years and years and years. And for that one game, you play way above your head.
Well, there's
nobody here would be surprised if the Elks beat the Stampeders.
Well, I just read the stat, and Mike, Calgary and Edmonton are tied for that Labor Day game now over the past 50 years.
Oh God.
So
And I'll throw this in after 50 plus years of watching the CFL. Any day, anybody can get beat.
Football game for that matter.
I mean, none of us thought Toronto would whoop BC's ass last week. None of us.
Oh,
I
did.
I was hoping.
Yeah. Hoping is different.
Okay, I was hoping.
Hoping is different.
I'd still be in the lead if I had to pick Toronto.
Okay. But you didn't.
No, I did not.
Fourth man on the panel is Michael Dennis from the suburbs of Portland, Oregon. And for some dumbass reason, he's a fan of the Edmonton Elks. Welcome, Michael.
Thank you. I'm excited to be back on. And yes, I love my Elks. And hopefully with this 3-game winning streak, we can make it 4, even though I don't think we have a prayer in hell of making that happen. But we'll try.
Hey, he's a Ducks fan. Why wouldn't he be an Elks fan?
I'm going to be at the Oregon game on Saturday.
I bet that is a fun atmosphere.
It's the first time.
Fart in the water? Damn right they do.
It's the first time I've ever been to Autzen Stadium.
Cool.
I generally root for the Oregon State Beavers.
Okay.
So he obviously likes teams with animals' names.
He obviously likes Canada if he votes for a Beaver team.
Hey, you got to be a fan of the Beavers.
I love
always a fan of the Beavers.
Beavers.
How can you not?
They're the underdog team in the state. They don't get any respect.
Okay, so hang on here. We got to get to going here because the show's gonna get too long again, and there's people that actually think that we know something about football, so we should talk about it.
No, there isn't.
There is.
No, there isn't.
Yes,
where's the mute button? Yeah, have another
I
drink.
apologize for talking you into letting him on the show, okay? I apologize. Sorry.
Okay.
But he's my big brother and he needs a friend, and I thought you'd be perfect.
I think he's the most
That
entertaining
kind of the
panelist
same
we
way I
have.
introduced you to Neil Kroll, right?
Yes. I'm going to introduce my brother Neil Kroll the next time he's in Calgary.
Oh, that would be wonderful.
Yeah.
Actually, I like Neil. He was a good guy. Entertaining.
Yeah, okay. Anyways, we shouldn't use names on live feeds, so.
First game up with Winnipeg Blue Bombers into Montreal to play the Alouettes. The Alouettes are missing their number 1 quarterback, Davis Alexander. They are missing their number 2 quarterback, McLeod Bethel Thompson. They are missing their number 3 quarterback, Caleb Evans. And they are on their number 4 quarterback. What was his name?
Captain
Travis Morgan.
Captain Morgan.
What's his first name? Was it Travis?
Yeah.
Travis Morgan, I think.
No, it's John, I thought.
John Morgan? Could be. I don't know. It doesn't matter. Anyhow, so the Winnipeg Blue Bombers went in there and they didn't disappoint, but they didn't.
Yeah. Okay.
What's the word I'm looking for?
They did not
dominate. They did not dominate. So it was an interesting game. Rick, being the Winnipeg Blue Bomber fan, I'll let you go on this one first. Go ahead. Talk about your favorite team and why they were so pathetic.
Well, I'll tell you why they won, not why they're so pathetic.
Oh, okay.
You know, they won because best game of the season for Brady and Zach. Zach was flawless.
That's not setting the bar high.
No picks. He didn't throw an interception. He was 27 of 31. That's pretty good, right? 263 yards. No turnovers. That helped. And Brady lit it up running and catching the ball. And that's what the Bombers need to win games is Zach and Brady on their game. Well, it would also help if their defense could cover the deep ball once or twice.
Yes. Brady went for 200 yards from scrimmage, didn't he?
Combined, yes.
Yeah.
Catching passes and rushing.
That's kind of what from scrimmage means.
Yeah, 210 yards, 137 rushing, 73 receiving.
Yeah. Okay. So it was an interesting game. Montreal didn't play poorly, but we didn't expect a lot from them. It was literally this guy's first start. It was his second game with live action. And I thought he played fairly well considering.
Well, it was a 3-point game at the end of the third quarter.
Yeah, it was close. It was well done. I mean, he didn't do anything outrageous. He did throw a couple of picks, but that was to be expected. I mean, it's his first fucking game.
100%.
And Montreal just keeps producing these quarterbacks. Mind you, I'm not really impressed with Caleb Evans. Never have been. McLeod Bethel Thompson is exactly who he is. So, and then who they got back in reserve right now? They got Cameron Dukes and then Shea Patterson. So that's their quarterback room right now. 3 young studs. Hopefully they will be able to do something for Montreal because they're sucking since they lost Davis Alexander.
Who knows, right? You never know when you go to your bench.
Exactly. And I mean, they took Shea Patterson was the backup quarterback in Saskatchewan last year. Cameron Dukes was backing up Nick Arbuckle in Toronto. And I don't know where Captain Morgan came from.
Well, and you never know about backups, right? Tom Brady used to be a backup. He got his chance, and we know what happened there.
Well, every quarterback that I've ever seen has been a backup at one time. Very few just waltz into the number one spot. Okay. Anybody else want to talk about this game? Michael, did you see it? Do you want to say anything?
I would say that I was extremely impressed with Brady Oliveira. He dominated the game, and I had 137 yards rushing, and I think he had 73 yards receiving. That's the total package. And with what Zach Collaros was doing, his efficiency was pretty damn good. Those two won the game for him. But I will say Captain Morgan did pretty well at 198 yards passing, but he's a former and he's got a background in the NFL. He did a fairly good job, and he zoned in on Alexander Hollins. That's who his primary target was. Did all right. That's all I got.
Okay, William, you want to add anything, or are we moving on?
Well, just saying that Alouettes need to fix their run defense, I would say. And I thought they had a pretty good run defense.
Not if you're letting Brady in for 130 yards.
Nope.
Well, the thing is though, when Brady's on and getting enough carries, I don't care what kind of run defense you have, he wins. When he's in the groove, I don't care how good your run defense was in the last 6 games. Brdy's going to beat you if you let him. You let him get unleashed, and he just builds on the momentum.
We watched the Stampeders shut him down.
They say one of the philosophies the Stampeders have this year is make every offense one-dimensional. Okay.
Yep.
And when you shut Brady down, then you got to depend on Zach. And I think they tend to depend on each other.
Yes.
And they have to have both, because once again, as I've been saying for 150 years, the run sets up the pass.
And what I'm going to say, and I have said for many years of coaching, is you don't give up if your run game gets shut down on the first 7, 8, 9, 10 carries. You keep going back to it. You don't go away from it 100%. You got to keep banging, because a guy like Brady needs 15 to 20 carries a game to take over the game. He can't do it in 6 or 7.
Do you remember how many carries he had in the Grey Cup, Rick?
I think 6 or 7 at 7.5 yards a carry, and then they stopped giving him the ball. And who lost that game, Will?
Yeah, I know that.
It did. Okay, so this was Winnipeg 26, Montreal 13, total of 39 points. Everybody picked Winnipeg to win, so everybody got the 100 points. Charles picked up a bonus of 20, Will 18, CJ got 12, Rick with 4, Sparky with 16, and Mike at 24. So we all went over. The game came under.
And Rick
Moving
sucks.
on. Moving on, we had that was the last Thursday night game of the 2025 season. I hate Thursday night games. I'm very pleased that they're finished now. Okay, they're gone. They're over. It's now Labor Day. We're moving on. Kids are back in school. We can't have Thursday night games. Edmonton Elks traveled to Ottawa to play the Red Blacks. The Red Blacks are without their starting quarterback, Drew Brown, and Dustin Crum is starting. And the game went pretty much the way that most of us thought, although the McDonald brothers thought that Ottawa was going to win for some dumb fucking reason, but because they both picked Ottawa. Anyhow, it was an interesting game. And Michael, I'll let you talk really quickly on the Edmonton Elks' victory there with your star quarterback, Cody Fajardo.
The reason we won this game is because of our special teams play. I think that when Javon Leake made that spectacular touchdown from a punt return, I thought it was fantastic, and that just set the momentum. Cody Fajardo was consistent throughout the game. We got good play from Rankin. I would say Curly Gittins was pretty awesome too from a receiving standpoint. The game went back and forth. Once we got the lead, we maintained the lead. We were able to maintain it. They came back, made some plays, got a touchdown. Then we would come back and make a play ourselves. So for the first time, I would say that Edmonton played a complete game, and I can see why we've got a really good special teams. Our coach, Mark Killam, has done a terrific job with them, and he's made his mark on the special team side.
Okay. Welcome, Charles, to the show here, buddy. How are you?
I'm doing well. I'm in finally, so I'm doing good.
What a crowded computer screen. Holy smokes.
Well, we can get one more. Should we bring Sparky in?
Yeah, he's a chick shit. He
won't come on. We've asked him before. He doesn't want to come on.
No, I know. But I may have found somebody else. We'll see. We'll make it crowded in here. Anyhow, cool. That was the Edmonton-Ottawa game. Anybody want to pipe up on it?
Hey, on special teams there, Mike, didn't they also have a partially blocked punt somewhere in that package?
Very early in the game, a partially blocked punt.
So good on the special teams.
That was the difference. That was the difference in the game. The special teams, they were setting the momentum for the Edmonton Elks throughout the entire game. Was it a perfectly played game? No. But I think the one thing you can say about our team is consistently the first 6 weeks of the season, we had no defense. Our defense didn't show up. We now have a defense that's showing up and playing pretty good, and our secondary is finally making some plays in the backfield. So I'm pleased with the progress we're making. I can see improvement.
I hate to bring some reality to this, Michael, but you played the Red Blacks. Okay? They're not a real team.
They beat Calgary, didn't they?
Twice.
It was only in the rain.
Twice.
Fair point. Beat them twice.
Once in a storm and once without Vernon Adams.
A win's a win, baby.
A win's a win, baby. Absolutely.
Win's a win. Okay. Let's wrap this one. This was the Edmonton Elks. What happened? Edmonton Elks 30, Ottawa 20, total of 50 points. Like I said, the McDonald brothers picked Ottawa. Everybody else had Edmonton, so we all got the bonus of 100. Charles got 26. Will, you actually nailed the score. You got 50 points. CJ got 34. Rick got 26. Sparky with 36, and Mikey with 32. Okay, the third game up was one that, can we just skip over this fucker? It was embarrassing. This is a BC Lions traveled east to Toronto to BMO Field to be embarrassed by the cellar-dwelling Argonauts. And literally, they dismantled the BC team. Charles, you're completely out of focus. Are you okay over there? Or?
I am.
Yeah, you are.
I'm fine.
No, you're out of
Okay,
focus.
that's odd.
Yeah, you're
Where's my
digitally
camera?
unfocused.
Yeah, you're
Try
gone.
adjusting that.
Didn't
How's
help.
that?
Didn't
No,
That
help.
didn't help? Oh,
Okay,
okay.
so
That's odd.
but
You
it's
just
it's
look like
okay.
a
It's
fuzzy
okay,
pink head.
Charles. It's
With
okay,
what?
went
Charles.
to
You're not.
BC Lions come in. Nathan Rourke had an amazing game, 34 points, 360 yards, and he lost. He literally lost to Nick Arbuckle, who puts up 408 yards and 52 points. How does that happen? Well, it happens if your defense is a bunch of cardboard replicas, because I'm pretty sure there weren't players out there. They were just little pieces of cardboard that looked like BC Lions players, because they didn't move. They just kind of stayed in the same spot like pylons, and they couldn't cover a picnic table. It was embarrassing to watch. Every time the BC Lions scored, Toronto came back and did it again. And it was back and forth. It went back and forth and back and forth. And every once in a while, BC would punt. Toronto would still come down and score. It was ridiculous. 80 some odd points totally scored. And not even half of them went to the Lions.
So how much
Charles?
of that?
Charles, talk about your team here and why I am so disheartened.
Your team, Charles.
Embarrassing.
Your team.
I mean,
they're not my team.
Honestly, I thought the Lions' offense was fine in this game. If they had any semblance of a defense, they probably would have won the game. They actually jumped out to a 14-3 lead in this one, and then defense decided, we're had enough for the day, and I don't know, maybe they left early, but they were just shown up and embarrassed by Nick Arbuckle. Nick Arbuckle. Say what you want about Nick Arbuckle, but the guy's been a career backup. And I'm going to talk to that when we talk about quarterback rankings, because they're a joke as far as I'm concerned. But he just torched him, and it was ridiculous. Nick Arbuckle's not a starting quarterback.
Man has a Grey Cup ring.
Good for him. So does Marcus Crandall. So let's celebrate him for a while. Look.
I think Marcus Crandall is a better quarterback.
I don't know, but come
No,
on.
I actually think Arbuckle is a decent quarterback, to be honest with you.
He's okay. I don't know if he's a top level starter, but let's face it, the BC Lions defense made him look good because they just completely come out, crap the bed. It was still a relatively close game midway through the third quarter with 35-30. And then a complete no-show in the last quarter and a half. Nick Arbuckle had his way with that defense. And the Lions have had defensive problems most of this season. And I'm not saying they're not a great defense, or I'm not saying that they're a great defense, because they're clearly not. They are a better defense than what they showed on Saturday. I don't know what the hell happened to them. And the Lions, I don't know why, but in most of the previous years have had a hell of a time when they go to Toronto. I don't know why. It's one of those cities where they never do well in. I can't explain it, but it was embarrassing. I'm sorry. It was a total no-show by the defense, which continues to be the Achilles heel for this team. This could be a very, very good team with even an average defense. They were significantly below average on Saturday, and that's why they lost.
100%. Very accurate summation. Anybody else want to add anything to it? William? You laughed all day.
No, I didn't laugh all day. I Nathan Rourke did play well, but it's a team effort, and they have to have a defense. And you need to figure out, like, do they have the right guys in place coaching the defense or not?
I have my doubts.
Because I'm assuming, let me ask you this, do you think the defense was better last year or this year?
I think they probably, with largely the same personnel, was probably better last year.
And
I would say it's better last year.
What's his name was the coach last year of the defense, right?
Rick Campbell.
Well,
No,
Rick Campbell, but
Ryan Phillips.
Ryan
Phillips, yeah.
Now they bought a boss in for Ryan Phillips, and they ain't doing so hot. So, you know,
I'm thinking.
I don't know.
I think you guys are being a little bit hard. There can be you can have a game where you just stink it up, and it could be that the receiving core of Toronto was just fantastic, had a great game, and so did Arbuckle. It's one of those games that you just want to throw away, and you're going to have those during the course of the season.
That may be the case, Mike, but this ain't the first time they've had a collapse like this. Remember, a few weeks ago, they blew a 10-point lead in 3 minutes to Hamilton. They had a crap game against Winnipeg. They had a crap game against Saskatchewan. If this were just a one-off, I could understand it. This isn't a one-off.
Hey, I'm gonna add to Charles that they lost the first game of the year to Chris Strevler. Okay.
Yeah.
I rest my case right there.
Oh,
their defense is horrible.
No,
yes,
you're wrong.
No, sorry, no.
No, I'm not.
We beat the Elks in the first game of the season.
Okay, well, the first game they lost to Chris Strevler.
Yeah,
that's all I'm gonna say.
They've lost this year to Chris Strevler. They lost to Jake Mayer, and now they've lost to Nick Arbuckle.
Oh my God! Did you say that they lost to Jake Mayer?
Yes,
in Saskatchewan.
Wow.
Don't you think though it's a little harsh to? I was reading the talk on the blog, and all the BC Lion fans want to fire the defensive coordinator.
So do I.
The game is passing
by. He also has past history in BC, Mike.
Okay.
Mike Benavides who's the Lions defensive coordinator right now, was once the BC Lions head coach. And he was a disaster there
before that.
Yeah.
He actually, in his defense, like just being devil's advocate here, he was fired with a winning record.
True, but his record, I believe he was the head coach for 3 seasons, and his record got worse every single year.
Yes, just kind of like Dave Dickinson and Craig Dickinson.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so anyhow, that's kind of. I would suggest we fire the defensive coordinator. That's kind of my belief. I would toast his ass.
I will add 2 cents in here. There were 86 points scored in that game. It wasn't a defensive game for either team.
Correct.
This was all about lighting it up on offense. Both sides.
Neither
quarterbacks had a good game. Exactly.
But we're talking about a 2-8 Toronto Argonaut team. They haven't had defense all year.
Yeah, but Toronto has played better than a 2-8 team. They've been in most of the games that they played this year. Be fair.
Yeah. I can't come out and agree with you on that one, but
yeah, we don't do that, Mike. Here we don't be fair.
We don't be fair.
We don't be fair.
Okay, so this was the BC Lions 34, the Toronto Argonauts 52, total 86 points. Everybody picked BC to win. All 5 of us were idiots. 6 of us, if you count Sparky.
But you know what? We're not bad because all the quote CFL experts on CFL.ca also all picked the Lions. So
I thought somebody picked the Argos. One of them did.
Are you sure? I thought it was
feel better,
sweep.
Chuck.
Okay, well, you know.
I think one of them did. Okay, anyhow, so because it was like such a high-scoring game, nobody got any points at all in this game. It was just like 0 straight across the board for everybody. Okay, the last game was definitely the most exciting, was definitely the one with the most ramifications. It was the one that had the most meaning for the standings and for the league in itself. And it was the Saskatchewan Roughriders went into Calgary to play the Stampeders at McMahon Stadium. And it was a dogfight. They went back and forth. It was quite a good, well-played game. It was very defensive, low scoring, considering we had 2 superstar quarterbacks, so to speak, in there. And yeah, it was kind of amazing. It was a good game. I watched it. It turned out the way I thought it would. William, your football team. Go ahead and
Yes.
talk to us about the Calgary Stampeders.
In the first quarter, Saskatchewan should have come out to a 10-0 lead, but instead they missed a field goal, and it was, I think, 1-0 or something like that.
Mhm.
And then Calgary scored a couple of touchdowns, and they were up, and then Calgary decided to take the second quarter off, and at halftime, Saskatchewan was up by 1 point, 15-14. And I guess somebody must have talked to the Stampeders during halftime, because they came out and it wasn't a game after that. It wasn't even close. The Calgary defense destroyed Saskatchewan, and the offense scored points, and they were up by 15 points before you knew it, and they won the game. So the highlight of every Saskatchewan game is in Calgary is too many Saskatchewan fans, but you don't even know they're there when they're losing, which is always nice. Okay. So, and I would say about halfway through the fourth quarter, I actually did start the cheer in Calgary, and the cheer was, anybody guess? We want Jake. Okay. And Jake got in the last 4 minutes of the game.
They put him in.
They did. And he did nothing, which was even better. So I think
they pulled Trevor Harris. Can you believe that?
Well, no, I don't know if they pulled Trevor Harris or not.
He got banged up, I think.
Smacked a couple of times. And when I say smacked, they had a direct route to the quarterback. And there was nobody holding him back. So, and he took one hit right in the chest, and I don't even know if he recovered from that game, to be honest with you, because they were pretty brutal on him. But I think Calgary showed you who the better team was that day, and it worked out for them. So running game was on par, passing game was okay. They beat them.
They absolutely dominated the Riders in the second half.
Yes,
Riders didn't get a single point.
No, they did. And the Riders did improve from the last game, because they got one more point as far as the last game from the last game.
Instead of 14, they had 15 this time.
15. There you go. So you always look for improvement.
So it was 56 to 26 or something, wasn't it? To 31.
31, something like that.
29.
Anyways, and all of these games are nice, and I'm gonna say we haven't hit the real intense times yet. So I don't even know what Calgary's team looks like, to be honest with you, because the pressure is coming. We've always said on this podcast, CFL doesn't start till Labor Day.
And it's Labor Day that weekend. So this is where CFL starts. This is where your team's got to put rubber to the road. And this is where we expect the Elks to come out and charge for the finish line. Isn't that right, Mike? Where we expect the Lions to actually perform, and Calgary's going to dominate. Winnipeg, I don't know about Winnipeg. I'm really indecisive on what they're going to do. Rick, what's your theory on that? Are they going to make a run for it, or are they just going to dwell in mediocrity? Because that's kind of what they've been all season.
Yes.
Just one level above the Lions.
I have faith. I have faith that they will get their shit together.
So you go to church, do you?
Not even once a year.
Oh, sorry.
But
that was a Willie joke.
I have faith in the Big Blue, and I'm predicting here today we'll finish in second in the West.
Okay. Well, we'll see what happens there. Okay, so this was the Saskatchewan Roughriders 15, Calgary 32, total 47 points. Everybody across the board. No, Sparky picked Saskatchewan, and so did Mike. There you go. The rest of the intelligent ones picked Calgary. So it was Charles at 16 points. Willie got 36. CJ got 28. Rick with 20. Sparky with 38. He was pretty close. And Mikey got 36. So that's how that one stands. So let's figure out what we did for the week. Week 12 ended this way. The big winner was CJ at 374 points. Next was Charles at 362, very close. 304 for Willie. 290 Sparky, 250 for Rick, and our new guy Mike actually jumped up in there in a 292. So
Attaboy, Mike.
Thank you.
CJ took over the lead at 4164. Will's now 60 points back of CJ. And tied with Charles. Charles and Will are both tied for the same at 4104. Sparky in at 3812. Rick's down at 3422. And Rick's no longer in the basement because Mike's only got 292 points for the season.
But he's got lots. He's got lots of time to catch me.
He's only picked one game.
He's got lots of time to catch me.
It's only halfway through the season. He'll catch you, Mike or Rick. No problems.
I have little
When
doubt.
you've been picking games, there's no way Mike is not going to catch you. Okay. So the pick'em standings for this year, CJ is 31-16, Willie's 30-17, Charles is 30-17, Sparky is 28-19, and Rick is 25-22. And I don't have anything for Mike. I think he's like 2-2. So where it is. So this week coming up is there's only 3 games. It's the Labor Day weekend, and for some strange reason, Ottawa, Montreal, and BC have byes.
Stupidest scheduling I've ever heard in my life.
100%. This is the biggest marketing games of the year, and they're down a game.
There should be a minimum 4 games. It's crazy.
Yeah. So the first game up is going to be the Saskatchewan Roughriders are hosting the Winnipeg Blue Bombers. And that is the way it is. And what's happening here is Saskatchewan is favored by 5.5 with an over-under of 51.5. The CFL Pick'em has Saskatchewan at 78, Winnipeg 22. Sparky's calculator has Saskatchewan at 51. And Mike, you're here, so your scores don't matter. We only do the scores if you're not going to be here, and you weren't going to be here yesterday, so I understand you put them in. So, but you're here now, so you can tell me what your scores are, or would you like me to tell you what you picked?
Saskatchewan at 44 points.
That's exactly what you called. Oh, okay, I'll put Mike down here. Saskatchewan at 44. Okay, and we're going to let Rick go next because he's a Winnipeg Blue Bomber fan and he wants a constant pick. So I believe you're going to go Winnipeg at 58. The only thing that has to happen here is you have to say it, because if
Winnipeg,
you don't say it, Sparky
58.
doesn't believe it.
Winnipeg 58.
Okay. Willie, what do you want?
Winnipeg 57.
Winnipeg 57. Okay, Charles, what are you going to do here?
God. I hate the Labor Day games because, as we've commented before, it doesn't matter what the freaking records are. It makes no difference.
Nope.
You know what? I think the loss to Saskatchewan or the loss to Calgary last week is going to start Saskatchewan in a bit of a fall. I'll go Winnipeg 50.
It's going to be September, and Saskatchewan loses every game in September. CJ is going Winnipeg 54.
Okay.
It's just a fact.
Wait. I want to change my score then, please.
What?
I want to change. I go with Saskatchewan 57.
No.
Yeah.
Why?
Because
you want to be opposite me, and I went last so that I could pick out.
Saskatchewan 57.
Cheater. Hope you lose.
You're never allowed back in Winnipeg again.
Okay, promise.
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 The Mounties
How are you
will
going to
meet you at
stop
the
them? You're
border.
not in Winnipeg either.
How
The
can
Mounties
you
will meet
not?
at the border.
How can you not
Okay,
choose
so
Saskatchewan?
we just blurted out our scores, and Sparky's going to get mad at us. So we're going to go back. And why do you, Charles, think
Mike,
Winnipeg is going to win? Now, you said because Saskatchewan lost in Calgary, and you believe this is the beginning of their slide. Is that
I
what you
do.
said?
I don't know why, but they always go in the middle of the season on a minimum 3 or 4 loss slide. Sometimes it's longer. And you know what? They've been very, very confident, maybe to the point of overconfident going into this game. I think the loss to Calgary is going to probably, bring them back down to earth a bit. We know these Labor Day games are very charged. So, yeah, I just think that the loss is they're not used to losing this year. So, and they're going into a very charged, and Winnipeg, I just have a feeling Winnipeg's going to beat them. I think they might have their number, and I think that there's going to be a bit of a setback for Saskatchewan because it happens every year.
William, why are you picking Saskatchewan? Because CJ picked Winnipeg?
CJ and Charles picked Winnipeg, and I don't want to be behind them. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead of them. How does that sound?
Fair enough.
Only if Saskatchewan wins. Otherwise, you're going to drop further.
And once again, the Saskatchewan Winnipeg game, and Mike, you should listen when I say this, because these Labor Day games, because I've seen where Winnipeg is fantastic, and they lose to Saskatchewan by 44 points on Labor Day, like for no rhyme or reason. Okay.
So I'm gonna throw things out there and tell you why I picked the Winnipeg Blue Bombers is because Trevor Harris has pretty much had his way with a lot of teams this year, although they've always been very low ranking teams in the divisions. But he's always had a lot of time to throw the ball. He can sit back there, think about what's happening, and go on. And I have 2 words that are going to throw a loop into Trevor Harris, and that is Willie Jefferson. I don't believe Trevor Harris is going to have all day long to throw the ball. I think Winnipeg's defensive line is going to come in and hands up in the air, bat the ball around, slap them around, and have their way with them. So that's my belief, and why I believe Winnipeg is going to win is because it's really going to throw a wrench into Trevor Harris and how he likes to manage his games. There's my opinion on why the Winnipeg Blue Bombers are going to be victorious on this Labor Day weekend. Not Victoria Day weekend, Labor Day weekend.
Okay.
Rick, what's your thoughts on this? Or are you just being a homer?
Partially, but also, as I mentioned, Zach and Brady showed up last week. I think that will continue. And each week the Bombers are trying to fix something. This week they will do something to fix that secondary, and I think we'll come out victorious.
Okay. Michael, do you have any
Saskatchewan,
awesomeness as to why you think which way did you go anyhow? You went with Saskatchewan.
Saskatchewan's going to win the game because they've been the best team in the league the entire year. They've only lost to 1 team, 2 losses to Calgary. They've beaten everybody else. They have a superior defense. And I think they're going to be ticked off from losing at Calgary. Yeah, I think it's going to be a low-scoring game, but at the end of the day, it's going to be the Saskatchewan Roughriders winning. And I'm not a Saskatchewan fan. You know that.
Yes.
There's a team they haven't beat yet, Mike.
Winnipeg.
They haven't beat Winnipeg.
They have not.
Yeah, but Winnipeg is not the same team that they were last year. They're not playing. The Collaros is not playing.
Did you listen to
level.
anything we said? It's Labor Day. It doesn't matter.
It means what's happening now never matters on Labor Day in any of these games.
And let's just throw in that Winnipeg beat Saskatchewan twice this year in exhibition.
Speaking of not meaning anything.
This is my first Labor
Total
Day.
meaningless.
This is my first Labor Day, guys. Sorry.
Okay, fair enough.
We know,
That's
and
fair
it's
enough.
okay. Okay.
It's okay.
So now we're going to go over to the Battle of the 401. That is the games between the Toronto Argonauts and the Hamilton Tiger Cats. And I believe this is in the first game is in Hamilton. Ticats are hosting the Argos. And it is going to, let's see what happens. CFL.ca writers picked all of Saskatchewan for that game. They picked all of Hamilton for this game. And FanDuel has Hamilton at 4.5 with an over-under of 57.5. Wow, that's a high over-under. CFL Pick'em has Hamilton at 684, Toronto 16. Sparky has Hamilton at 60 points. Sparky is going high with Hamilton at 60 points. CJ is going to take the Hamilton Tiger Cats at 54. I don't care what Toronto did last week. They're not going to do it again. I don't believe Hamilton is good of a team as what everybody believes them to be, but I know Toronto is not that good. So I'm going with the Hamilton Tiger Cats. I think Bo Levi is going to have a wonderful game. I'm a huge Bo Levi fan. I always have been. You know that.
Wow, you're funny.
Oh, I
Not
almost
even-
choked on that.
Not even.
The only reason your Hamilton pick isn't 100% is because Dave Dickinson isn't coaching Hamilton, right? Because
Exactly.
you love Dave Dickinson and Bo Levi just as much as, yeah, okay.
Yeah, 100% on that. Hamilton usually wins the Hamilton game. Toronto usually wins the Toronto game. It's really kind of weird in that aspect of things, so we're going to let that fly. I'm taking Hamilton this week, and I don't think I'll take Toronto next week because I hate Toronto. So, Rick, I'm going to let you pull next. Please tell me who you want, Toronto or Hamilton. You've been picking Hamilton all season. Are you sticking with it?
Hamilton 58. I still believe Hamilton is the best team in the East, which isn't saying a bunch.
No, that's not setting the bar real high.
Nope.
Tallest midget sort of thing. Okay,
Exactly.
Mike, what do you want to do here?
Hamilton 62.
62.
Whoa.
Big scoring
that-
game there. We'll let Willie go last because he's going to cheat anyhow. So, Charles, what do you want to do here?
Oh, man. Toronto is not as good as they looked last week. Hamilton isn't as good as they looked all season. Hamilton hasn't been very good the last couple games out. I think they make up for it somewhat. I don't think Hamilton's going to win. I think this is going to be somewhat close. I'm picking Hamilton 55.
Okay. So do you think it's going to be quite as high scoring? I mean, 55, that Toronto got 56 points against the Lions, didn't they?
Yeah, but that doesn't happen every week.
No, it does not. William, you picking the Toronto Argonauts to be special?
Let's all remember that Hamilton was on a bye last week, were they not? Yes, they were.
Yeah.
Yes.
So they will be well rested and even more well rested since the game's not till Monday.
Yeah. And they've lost 2 in a row,
Monday.
so they're going to have a bit of a chip on their shoulder, I suspect.
They are. So I am going to pick Hamilton 52.
What? How many?
52.
Thank you. So that's all of us right across the board here picked Hamilton. So there we go. The last game is going to be the Battle of Alberta. Actually, it's not. It's Labor Day Classic, I think it's called. The Battle of Alberta is next week.
That's the following week.
Yeah. Is going to be the Edmonton Elks into Calgary to play the Stampeders at McMahon Stadium. And wow, let's see what this does. The writers have Calgary Stampeders straight across the board. Calgary is a 7.5 point favorite with an over-under of 52.5. CFL Pick'em has Calgary at 85, Edmonton 15. And Sparky Calculator has Calgary at 50 points. CJ has taken the Calgary Stampeders at 54. This is not even going to be a close game. I'm sorry, Edmonton. You're just not going to be able to do it. And yes, we've just said anything is possible on Labor Day, but I just think Vernon Adams is a far superior quarterback to Cody Fajardo. It's not even a question. Charles, let you go now.
I'm on the same train as you. Yes, anything
Where are we
can happen on, yes, anything can happen on Labor Day, but typically the game in Calgary will go Calgary's way more often than not. They are a much, much better team than Edmonton. Don't let the last few weeks fool you. Edmonton's been somewhat pretending because of some of the talent. They haven't been beaten like the greatest talent. Let's put it that way. They've been beaten up on the East pretty good. Vernon Adams has been everything that Calgary has wanted. He's gone in. He's led that football team this year. He's gonna, if nothing else, he'll will them to a victory. Because honestly, if I were to pick MOP today, I would be picking Vernon Adams without even blinking an eye. I think Calgary wins this one. I think they pull away on it. So I'm going to go Calgary 57.
Who's making weird noises?
What is that noise?
Sounds like somebody out by the road.
I don't hear any noise.
Then it's probably you because we hear it and you don't.
And I'm wearing headphones.
Yeah, I have no idea what it was, but it was kind of sounded funny.
It was.
Okay, so
well, my glass is empty, so maybe.
Charles, what was your pick?
That was Calgary 57.
Calgary 57. Okay. William.
Well, although I told you at the beginning I didn't believe in Sparky's thought process. Sparky's thought process. It is official as of today. The Stampeders, are you ready? Are you sitting down?
I am.
17 players out with the flu.
Really?
Yes.
Yeah.
Ooh.
Including Adams is sick, but he's playing.
But I mean, the game's still like 3 days or 4 days away. So
yeah, but it's the flu. Depends.
Okay. A lot of them will play with the flu. It's always good to puke on your opponent. It gives you an edge.
I was sitting here wondering if any of you would bite on that, but nobody has. So, anyways, that's not true. Calgary, you know what? They seem to really get excited about events, i.e. the Calgary Bowl when they played Winnipeg or whoever they played. It was Winnipeg, yeah. So this is Labor Day. They're going to be excited about this. I am going to say Calgary. 62.
Wow. Who would have guessed that?
62?
62.
Wow, there you go. Rick.
Calgary 58.
Calgary 58. And Mike, I'll let you go here. What is this? Are you taking the Elks?
Yes, he is.
I can't do that. They're playing the best team in the Canadian Football League. I'm not an idiot. It's going to be Calgary in 52.
Taking Calgary at 52. Okay. We wouldn't have called you an idiot if you took Edmonton. We wouldn't have. Well, okay, never mind.
As a matter of fact, Mike, who was a duck who's the Davis Sanchez? He was a duck, was he not?
Yes.
Okay. In one of the classic Labor Day games, he got kicked out because he took his helmet off and threw it at another player. Okay. In the middle of the game.
It's a true story.
It is so.
I just Vernon Adams is going to dominate the game. I'm a realist. They're the best team in the league right now, and I can't see a scenario in which my Edmonton team can win. So,
but your heart, you're hoping.
Oh, I'm going to be praying.
Okay.
I'm going to go to church on Sunday and pray for it.
Okay.
Hey, Boseko Lacumbo was a duck as well.
Yep.
So here, we're going to go through these things. Charles built an agenda, which I thank you very much to do that, Charles, but I want to go to bed.
There's not a lot major there anyway, so
there's not a lot in here. So we'll go through it really quickly. This guy with two names that are the same, which I don't understand how that works. what is his name? Aju,
yeah.
Aju, who has been cut by the NFL, is returning to the Saskatchewan Roughriders. This was an outstanding receiver for them last year. So he's coming back. Toronto defensive lineman Andrew Chatfield, who actually was injured 2 or 3 times in that game, was fined twice for illegal hits on Nathan Rourke. Taking some liberties on the highest paid player in the CFL, right, Rick?
I want to comment on that though. Can I comment quickly on that?
Yes.
You can.
Now the CFL has all been about protecting quarterbacks and so on. I mean, we've seen some of the, let's say, questionable roughing the passer calls over the last few years. So if you're getting fined for multiple hits on a quarterback, should you not get at least a 1-game suspension? If you've had 2 hits bad enough to get fined for it, should you not be serving at least a game suspension if you're taking liberties with the quarterback in a league that says they're protecting quarterbacks? Or trying to? Or giving that illusion?
Why didn't the referee throw him out of the game?
Well, that's another good question.
Yeah, I personally think the second one was questionable. I don't think it was on purpose.
Then he shouldn't have been fined for it. So obviously they thought it was on purpose.
Well, you're telling me they might have made a mistake?
What,
Not the CFL
official on the field and then the command center later?
Just saying, watch the game.
Everybody's making mistakes.
If you watch the game, I saw the first hit and I thought that was on purpose, and the second one I didn't think it was.
Not one of those high-quality CFL officials that leaves the game he's officiating to go work his shift at the keg.
No, that's funny.
It was funny. Too bad it was so sad. It's true.
And just in case somebody else out there works at the keg, it's not a bad job. Okay, guys, we're not cutting your job down.
It's my favorite restaurant, so I'm not taking the keg.
Hey, all you old timers here, do you remember a referee in the CFL by the name of Abe Kovnatz?
I don't.
He
was terrible. He was a Winnipeg-based guy. We elected him to the legislature to get him off the football field. But I had drinks and a cigar with him once at a shrine event when I explained to him how he ruined my grade 11 year of football with a bad call and ended our season. And he took a big drag on the stogie and a sip of his scotch, and he said, "You know, Rick, as a referee, I made a lot of mistakes, but I was never wrong once." So that's how referees think.
So at a Shriner event, are you a Shriner?
No, my father-in-law was, and he invited me.
I was going to ask you if you had one of those hats.
Called a fez, and no.
Called a fez.
Look at his head, Charles. They don't make those hats that big.
Had I stayed in Winnipeg and not moved to the coast, I probably would have been a Shriner because I like to hang out with my father-in-law.
Okay. I never made it that far. Only got to the 3rd degree.
And they drink the best scotch.
Like I said, everybody needs a friend.
Everybody needs a friend. Okay, so the last thing that we've got on the agenda here was the quarterback rankings. Number 1, who was in 6th place last week, is Nick Arbuckle.
So already the list for me is gone. The credibility of this list is now gone.
Of course it has. Number 2, who was number 2 last week, was Trevor Harris. Number 3, who was number 3 last week, is Nathan Rourke. Number 4, who was number 1, is Bo Levi Mitchell. Vernon Adams is 5-5. Cody Fajardo moved up from 8 to 6. Even the list doesn't like him, Mike. Zach Caleros is 7-7, and Dustin Crum was not ranked last week, and he's number 8. And James Morgan, James Morgan is a solid number 9 in his first start.
The only thing I can say is Cody Fajardo should be MOP and Will agrees with me.
Absolutely.
He just agrees he's gonna piss CJ off, though. That's the thing he's not
Absolutely.
telling you.
Charles knows that, and
Hey,
Mike
you know
knows
what?
that.
It was pretty obvious.
I'm really not sure about this show. So anybody who's watching this podcast for the very first time, please watch another one, okay? Just don't make your decision on watching future podcasts based on this one episode.
This one's been really fun.
It has.
It's been fun, but it's kind of been fucked up, okay? So
And let's just add a note here that Will has had 2 frontal lobotomies in his life. So let's move on from here.
Yes.
okay. This has been Let's Talk CFL podcast episode number 619. I've been your host, Christopher Jones, and I got to go to bed because I'm getting up at 2:30 in the morning to go firefighting, okay? So you guys take care. Have a good one. William, say good night.
Good night, everybody. Watch football this weekend. Would you please buy a ticket and come to the Stampeders game? Because I don't want Labor Day to have 8,000 people there. Come on.
Charles.
I'm sorry, Will, I will not buy a ticket. It's a long commute. But enjoy Labor Day. This is where people say the CFL season really starts. So let's see who's got what going where. Why is there only 3 games this week? I don't know. The CFL doesn't ever do things that are normal. So who's surprised at this? Next week we'll have probably have a game in Tuesday or something, but whatever. Enjoy the Labor Day weekend games, and we'll talk to you next week.
Next week there won't be a Toronto-Hamilton game. Can you believe
Another
that?
stupid thing.
Yeah, they don't play the back-to-back because Montreal, Ottawa, and BC have to play.
Well, if they'd have been smartened up and had another game this week, they could have.
Yep. Michael,
So let's have
say
3
goodnight.
games.
To all my friends from Edmonton who are part of Elk Nation, please go to Calgary and let's fill that stadium put some green and gold in there and root like hell for the Edmonton Elks.
And toss beers on Willie.
If worse comes to worse, just bring in a bunch of real elk. That'll fill people's heads until they start charging, and then they'll empty the stand. So maybe don't do that.
See, I can just see a herd of elks attacking that white horse, the fat bitch on it.
Oh, Jesus.
Yeah! Rick, say goodnight.
Well, this is a very exciting weekend, Labor Day Classics, and it's also the start of the BC high school football season. This is week 0, and my high school is taking on the 3-time champions from Vancouver College tomorrow afternoon on our home field. So lots of football happening this weekend for Big Rick.
Which school is that?
FYI,
Which
guys,
school is that?
Rick
Rick,
said-
which school is that?
Rick just said his high school, so he's
He
still
said
in high
Bateman.
school. That explains a
Oh,
lot.
Robert Bateman. My son was
Robert
Robert Bateman for a while, yeah.
There you go. It's going to be a great weekend for football. We're looking forward to all of it. Thanks for having me,
I'm
guys.
turning off the show.
Okay.